stop.
Devang, good afternoon and welcome back.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Can you see the screen?
Yeah, I can see the screen.
Okay, okay.
There is a black box in front of it, so I don't know what to tell you. It's gone.
Okay, it's gone. Huh? Now is the PPT visible?
We can start, sir.
Okay, fine. See, fine. Here, actually, today we are going to discuss something about entrepreneurial leadership, which is part of module 4th, I suppose. Let me take you through it is part of unit 4 or module also we call it. So I'm not going to go into the detail of each and every point, but in brief we are going to touch upon this entrepreneurial leadership, and after that we will be moving into small detail of this particular unit, right? And in fact last lecture we had on Saturday, I finished off with lean. You can just take a look at the video, recorded video. I've covered all this thing, and why I'm taking you back to lean is there is a reason, because this lean talks about waste. I hope you were there at that time. We have discussed about this waste, but lean again has some relation with leadership, right? As I said, lean Six Sigma is a philosophy, and from where this philosophy is going to come into the organization, who is going to bring it and who is going to nurture it? Obviously the leader, right? Obviously the person who is going to lead the team, who is going to lead the organization. And talking from the point of view of startup, he or she is going to be the entrepreneur, right? The person who is going to start that enterprise is the entrepreneur, and these entrepreneurial leadership skills, right? That person is going to nurture this lean Six Sigma philosophy approach, and he will be responsible to reduce this waste and to bring about the efficiency. So last time what we discussed was, apart from lean, we have compared lean and Six Sigma, and we have seen like how these two concepts complement each other. Lean talks about speed, reducing or removing the waste, right? And Six Sigma talks about zero defect or accuracy. How good your process is to manufacture the goods or the products and the services. As I say, product can be services also. If you are into hotel industry, hospitality industry, or healthcare industry, for example. So there also lean and Six Sigma will play equal role. They have equal importance compared to its implementation in the manufacturing. So I hope last time it was clear. I hope you people have gone through the recorded lecture, because lean startup is very important if you really want to survive in this fearsome competition in this age where everybody is having an idea. The only thing is how you implement it, right? And implementation is more important from the lean point of view, because that is going to give you an edge over your competitors, and that is where we talked about the competitive advantage. How are you going to gain competitive advantage? It can be in terms of, again, all those 7 P's. Like if your product is superior to your competitors, then definitely you will be having an edge or a competitive advantage. If your pricing is low, and see, all these things should come at the lowest cost, and it has to be cost effective. आप बोलोगे प्रोडक्ट बहुत ही सुपीरियर बनाता हूँ मैं, बट व्हाट अबाउट द प्राइसिंग और द कॉस्टिंग? द कॉस्टिंग इज गोइंग टू गो double, triple compared to whatever is available, a good quality product which is available in market. You have to compete with that product, not saying that my product is far superior, but ultimately pricing is also going to come, right? So let us move further. Before I go ahead, let us take a look at this famous personality. Deliberately I have not given the name because they are world known, they are global leaders, and here we are talking about leadership, right? They are themselves entrepreneur, right? because they started the firm from a scratch, from a zero. Now, Devang, one by one, see, this is not a general knowledge test, but can you recognize these personalities? They are very famous. The first one,
Yeah, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs.
right? Good, good, excellent.
Okay, the other three I don't recognize. Sir.
Elon Musk, right? Somebody Tesla from who is the founder, CEO of Tesla, who is the brain behind Tesla cars, EV cars. He is what we talked about. I've taken a case study on Amazon. He is the founder of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, right? And these two, even they are not that famous, but they are equally seen as the leaders who have changed the world. This one is Page, right? They both of them belongs to Google. This one is Page, first one, and second one is Brian, Brin. They are there with Google, and they have brought lot of innovation in Google in terms of searches, right? In terms of promoting Google as a product, various different Google. See, Google we know only for what, search engine, as search engine, but Google has plenty of other products apart from search engine. They have their own cloud-based services. They own YouTube channel, right? And whatnot. They have plenty of products under them. Then you have Google Translate, then Picasso, where you can store a lot of your pictures. YouTube, you can store your videos. So even Google Forms. So plenty of products that comes under Google, right? So these are the people who are entrepreneur in itself. Like they started from scratch, as I said, and now they are known as a world leader, right? So before discussing on this, let us take a few examples in the Indian context, right? Top 10 most inspiring entrepreneurial leaders in India in 2021. This is the rating for last year itself. Again, name I am not given because most of them are recognizable, right? This guy is very is in limelight nowadays. He belongs to Pune. Can you name him? His surname includes Pune.
No, sir, I cannot name.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, Wadiyar, no?
No, he is Pune.
Pune.
One who is instrumental in developing indigenous vaccination. Right? I'll be coming to that. Right? First face we can recognize is Ratan Tata. Right?
Tata.
Right. Second,
Tata, Godrej, Azim Premji, Mukesh Ambani, Mittal, Adani, Mahindra.
Good.
And the last three I don't.
Last is Byju's. Right? The Byju's Ravindran. Right? He's a South Indian. And this particular lady, she is instrumental in bringing Chandani, right? She is instrumental in bringing the platform for women empowerment. In fact, let me take you to the study note. This will clarify what exactly. See, this is what I've listed them also. You can just go through the study. Ratan Tata, you named, very good. Godrej, Premji. Then Mukesh Ambani, Lakshmi Mittal, good. Gautam Adani, and Anand Mahindra, good. Then Adhar Poonawala, right? He is a Serum Institute. He is running an institute called as Serum Institute. Yeah, here it is. Serum Institute in India, right? Which is located in Pune, and he is instrumental in developing indigenous vaccination for COVID, right? She is Roshni Malhotra, right? Roshni Malhotra, and the lady which I was talking about somewhat else. Because see, you need not recall, because see, this face, many of the face keeps on changing yearly basis. Yearly, because somebody may come under top 10 and somebody may drop down. And last one is Byju Ravindran, right? He is the founder of Byju's. So these are said to be the topmost leaders. Talking about 2021. Earlier also you can go back. See, this phenomena of leadership, of starting an enterprise is not new, right? Since ages, since centuries, it is there, and time in the coming time also, somebody is going to replace these names, right? Replace the face as well as names. It depends on what sort of leadership style these people adopt, and how they lead the organization, whatever it can be a startup. For Ratan Tata, he inherited all the enterprise from his father, right? But whereas many cases like Ambani is again inherent from the father, but many cases they started on their own, right? They started from scratch. Particularly this Baiju guy, especially edutech companies, and especially all sort of high-tech companies nowadays. Youngsters are taking the lead, and they are starting from zero, and they are reaching the pinnacle of the success. We'll be taking a look at those videos also, small videos, so that we clarify it. And see, we need not remember all the faces. As I said, in fact, you answered my question very correctly. Most of the faces you were able to recognize because they are very well known. But what about these faces, right? These faces deliberately have given the name because they all belong to a startup, and they have this quality of leadership. And leadership, I am to say, let us think from the point of view of lean, right? They know how effectively and how fast. See, Lean Six Sigma, as I said, talks about accuracy and it talks about speed. Because nowadays, if you are slow, then somebody probably may steal your idea, or somebody who is having similar idea will come up in the market and will capture the entire market share. Since you were slow, you were late, you will find no place for your product or services. Now these are few of the phases. Even I am not able to correlate, but see, I'll try. Right? First of all, this Bansal, he is from Flipkart. Right? Both Bansal's brothers were there, who started Flipkart. In fact, they were earlier working for Amazon. They quitted their job and they started their own firm called as Flipkart way back, almost a decade back. Right? Now these Goyals. The Goyals are there who are into what? Somebody is into taking care of. Even I am not able to recall. See, Byju's just now we have clarified it, right? So let us go to our study note. Okay. So this particular content for all this personality, I have tried here also. I think I missed it out. But see, this I'll come to the personalities also. But the reason is, see, we might not recognize all of them because they are all startups, right? And second thing is, over a period of time, they may be getting replaced because somebody else is there, and we know this tech world is very turbulent in nature, very volatile. And if somebody just missed out something, a link, then probably some other guy is going to take that place, right? So before we move ahead of knowing exactly who are the leaders and who are the managers, we'll have a small look at one of the small videos which will clarify this doubt of who these personalities are. Okay, just
COVID is a killer, not only of so many innocent lives, but its victims include many businesses too. Long-standing business.
And see, this is one of the very wonderful channels being run by Dhruva Rathi. He talks on all sort of topic, including political. But this video is specifically good of how to start a business, right? Being an entrepreneur in India, right? So this we can take a look afterwards. It's a long video. Let me take you to the 7 untold stories of successful entrepreneurs. This covers up the names, right? Vijay, Shankar, Sharma was also there. So we'll have a small look at this video, and after that we can move ahead with our discussion.
The first in this list is Ritesh Agarwal. Ritesh Agarwal's entrepreneurial journey is one of the most successful entrepreneur stories in India. After dropping out of college, he launched his first startup, Arrival Stays, which was a budget hotel chain that provided B&B. to improving his business model, he relaunched Oracle as OYO, which was short for On Your Own, and became one of the most successful young entrepreneurs in India. Begin with only 11 rooms in Gurgaon Hotel, OYO Rooms is now a hub for elite hotel stays with 65,000 rooms in about 5,500 properties across India. The next in line is Bhavish Agarwal. Coming from an IIT family, Bhavish Agarwal, an IITB alumnus, founded the most popular cab aggregator of India, Ola Cabs. He received the M Billions Award South Asia 2013, the best startup of the year by IAMAL, and got listed in the 30 under 30 by Forbes. This young man revolutionized the cab service in India by connecting it well with smartphones. The only thing that made Ola Cab different from other cab services at that time was the full use of smartphone and GPS technology that made it easier for the user to board the car and travel. He achieved all this after quitting from a lavish job at Microsoft. No one supported his idea, but it was his strong will, determination, and power to take risk in life that led him to the pinnacle of success. Today, he is one of the most successful entrepreneurs in India. Vijay Shekhar Sharma. The stepping stone of digitalized India was laid down by Paytm, which was started by Vijay Shekhar Sharma. Vijay Shekhar is from Aligarh. He couldn't sit for competitive exams just because of his poor English. After working on many projects in small startups during the graduation from Delhi College of Engineering, Vijay finally took a huge risk of investing $2 million and founded 197, the parent company of Paytm, giving the Indians the service of internet wallet, paying by scanning the QR code, easy bill payments, etc. led to the success of this company, and he became the most successful tech entrepreneur in India. Paytm Karo. Every street, colony, nukkad, either be small vendor or huge shopping complex, every transaction is now an authentically sale through Paytm. The online transaction giant very successfully made a bang on e-commerce. The next comes Baiju Ravindran. By giving this nation the concept of online education with a special package for preparation of computed exams, Baiju's app helped thousands of students who struggle with mathematics, science, and cracking the hardest exams like JEE, NEET, and UPSC. Ravindran is an engineer who worked in a shipping firm, stepped into the field of teaching accidentally when he taught his friends for CAT exam and they cleared it with flying colors. He then fell in love with teaching and found his true passion. He is today spreading his knowledge with a group of brilliant minds through video tutorials. He started it all with an initial investment of just 2 lakh, which has now grown to 3,300 crores. Next is Phanindra Sama. Redbus has made booking bus tickets way easier than before, and it all started when its founder, Phanindra Sama, could not go home for Diwali due to the notorious Bangalore traffic. He realized some key issues with the existing bus model and found the internet has the best medium for solving these issues by putting together information on the platform where customers could easily access it and take better decisions. By April 2014, Redbus launched hotel booking powered by Ibibo Group, followed by the Redbus teaming up with the Uber. Nothing can compare to the encouragement of the youngsters more than listening to the success stories of visionary entrepreneurs. The journey has not been comfortable with strikes, shortage of labor and workforce, policy changes, corruptions, and economic slowdowns. Still, they started from nothing and rose to the top of game over years in Indian growth history. We salute these young achievers and hope they continue to inspire us all to drive success. That's all, guys.
Yeah, this is all the first video, and one question which comes to my mind is, or which I would like to put forward to all of you. I think Ananta is also there. Welcome, Ananta.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. See,
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, one question regarding all these leaders. No matter even if they are young, they are just startups, or even if they are established leaders, established in itself in their own domain, own areas, right? What goes common in all these leaders, particularly talking about entrepreneurial leaders, right? See, leaders, again talking about this term, there are various type of leaders, like naming few spiritual leaders, right? Can you quote any example of spiritual leader? Are different than entrepreneurial leader? Why I'm classifying, why I'm asking this question is so that we should know the leadership form, right? Political leader, any example? Plenty of examples are there. Social leader? See, political, all this politician, all the prime minister you can take, right?
Modi, sir, he started by selling tea. That is the rock bottom of everything, sir.
Who? Pardon me?
Narendra Modi, sir. He's complete new startup there. He actually started by selling tea, and from there he's become the prime minister. He's the
Right,
new
right.
business
See,
development guy.
yeah, right now he's a political leader, right?
Right.
So somebody who is into politics, simple as that, right? Maybe at a time he may be, see, all PMs, so whoever has reached that ladder, who has reached the top. See, becoming PM itself is not a joke, right? It requires lot of hard work, lot of slagging, lot of meticulous planning as well, right? Lot of social understanding of the people around you, including your colleagues, including from the place from where you are going to contest. So political leader, they do have different setup altogether, right? And a spiritual leader, as I said, they do have different followers, a different approach towards life compared to this entrepreneurial leaders, right? So what exactly is common in all these phases? There are few characteristics, few attributes, few traits which are common. What can be those? Just for a discussion. See, all of them are visionary. Do you agree with me or not? They have a vision of doing something or knowing what exactly is needed. Like for example, red bus. We have taken example. Right? So that is one characteristics we can attribute to all these leaders. Like vision. Vision is one which every leader, no matter what segment he or she belongs, they should have a vision. Right? Without a vision, without knowing where exactly you want to go, you cannot be a good entrepreneurial leader, right? Similarly, other leader. We won't be talking much about other leaders here, since our subject demands that we should find out the attributes and characteristics, right? The traits which are there. What else is there? Vision is one. There are plenty of attributes which we can list it down. I just want it to come through a discussion. Vision, I said one. Second can be what? They are good at what? Planning, motivating, right? Three things I have taken. They are good at organizing. They are good at directing. They are good at budgeting. I'm saying how much will be required for example, startup. If I want to start something like the example was Flipkart, for example, Sachin Bansal, or Paytm, for example, Vijay Sharma, Vijay, Shekhar.
The most important skill that any entrepreneur, especially these guys have, is people skills.
The people skill, exactly. Good.
Skills.
Exactly.
If we do not have everything in life is about people.
Exactly. Wonderful. See, all these attributes, right, ultimately are directed, because people are the biggest asset, and this all these entrepreneurs know that if you are able to nurture and then polish this human resource properly, capital will come automatically. It won't be of much of a trouble, right? So people skill, exactly. And people skill includes what? It includes interpersonal skill as well as intrapersonal skill, right? You should be a good thinker, right? That is introspection, we can say, introspection skill, that who I am, what are the skill which I am having, what are the drawbacks or limitations I am having, SWOT analysis indirectly, right? And how good I am interacting with my colleagues or people around me. It can be all stakeholders. It did not necessarily be the people in your organization. It can be talking to the customers directly, because see, again, one of the excellent attribute of all these peoples are they are open. A good quality of leader is they are open, they are approachable. Approachable is the right word. They are approachable right from the grassroots level worker. Maybe nowadays they have grown up like Ambani's and Ratan Tata, but still they do see to it that they go and interact with their employees. They remain approachable, at least to their immediate subordinates, right? So that they can listen to the problems, they can take the suggestions. So approachable is again one of the things. As a leader, you cannot work in isolation, right? That is again one of the very important quality which all leaders, good leaders have, right? Leaders who have made the name for themselves. So approach, right? Unless until, and this is what indirectly human skill, right? It is something overlapping. As I said, most of the skill do have certain overlapping component, but the leader has to be present whenever somebody wants him, somebody would like to discuss with them. Maybe it depends on the type of enterprise which will be coming to it. Setup कैसा है? बहुत huge enterprise है. For example, Ratan Tata, they are running empire. All of them, not only Ratan Tata, they are the largest one. But these people, they have gone so big. Now they have the hierarchy. If somebody wants to approach, maybe they are approachable, but with certain channels, through certain protocols. Nobody can just walk into their cabin and talk to them, but still they are approachable. That is what I want to say. The best quality of any leader is that they should be approachable. What else can be there? Fine, people skill, definitely that has to be there. Without which we cannot call them leader, because all leaders need what? Followers, right? Unless until they have a follower, you cannot call them leader. Simple as that. And how are you going to create a follower? Follower will be created when there is a communication. There is a both-way communication. It's not going to be unidirectional communication. Leaders do not dictate their terms, right? Rather, their follower admire them and they just follow the leader. Whatever is being done by the leader, they'll try to imitate him, right? They'll try to put themselves in the shoes of these people. What else can be the characteristics?
Managing money.
Pardon me?
Managing money.
Managing money, exactly. Budgeting, I'll take it. Budgeting includes all sort of things like managing projection. We have studied in financial term, cash flow projections and all those things. So managing money, fine, broad term, but it includes everything, right? Staffing, something related to staffing. See, I'll give you simple formula for this also, how to remember this, right? There's one concept called in principle of management. If you study it, that is just a basic subject for any management student, for all UG as well as PG. Principle of management, some call is principle of management, or it is also called as basics of management, right? So there one short form is there, one acronym is there, that is called as POSCORB. POSDCORB, right? That is the acronym for qualities which are there in any manager or leader. See, leaders are necessarily good managers, and equally all managers has to have leadership qualities also, right? But we'll be talking a distinction how they are different, because managers are good implementer, whereas leaders, they create their own rule, right? Managers are they are confined to a boundary, whereas for a leader there is no boundary. I will be coming to that. So what I was talking about was POSCORB, POSDCORB. P stand for planning, O for organizing, S for staffing, D for directing. That is POSD, which are the attribute any leader wants. And see, planning may include financial planning, it may include human resource planning, it may include all sort of planning, right? And what is CORB? CORB, that is coordinating, right? CORB, R for routing the things, and D for directing, right? So this attributes or these qualities are there in almost everybody, not why only this leader. See, leadership qualities are there, present with everybody. It is where you are put. Actually, if you are working on a particular, for example, if you are assigned certain work to be done, right, and if you are doing it good, then obviously you are promoted. You are promoted to take care of somebody else will take your place, and you will be promoted as a supervisor because you have done that job good. Now your job is to take a look to find out whether people are doing it good or not. So leaders does not mean somebody who's sitting at the pinnacle, right, at the top. somebody who is present at the apex position, right? Leadership quality is present right from the grassroots level worker. It is present everywhere. It is only how you are going to exploit it, right? How you are going to utilize your qualities and grow utilizing those qualities. Maybe somebody is good in communication, right? C stand for coordinating, stand for what? Communication also. So communication skill has to be again very good. Definitely it has to be there, because in order to maintain the human side of the story, if you want to maintain good human relation, and if you really want to nurture your human resources, then you need to be good in both what? Verbal communication as well as written, and at the same time at your gestures also. How confident you look when you talk, right? Even in the worst of the worst situation, the situation where your determination is to be seen by your colleagues, your gestures will also count over there. Not only the verbal skill or the written skill, all these characteristics are there. It's not that these people are only having it. It's there in you, it's there in me also. All that is needed is how we nurture and how we implement. Again, as I said, ideas are plenty in nature. These all people started with the idea, but what they were able to do was they tried to put it in actual practice, right? So this is the basic difference. So that's this was just breaking the ice, so that we get a feel of what exactly is this leadership, especially talking about entrepreneur, right? So let us come to our basic question of who are managers and leaders. See, this particular slide is self-explanatory, right? Here you said Devang rightly said people focus. Leaders are what? See, this is second. Innovation, as I said, has to be first, especially from the point of view of entrepreneurial entrepreneurs, right? And people focus. Managers are more work oriented, because they know that whatever task has been assigned to them by their superiors or by the management has to be done. That is the goal. The goal is to get things done, right? They are skilled at allocating work, whereas the leaders, the goal includes both people and results. They care about you and want you to succeed. See, here manager will ultimately see to it that he succeed. I am to say, by getting things done from other, whereas the leader's qualities, they will give the credit of success to the entire team. Whereas the failures credit or failures onus will be taken by the leader himself. He won't pass on the failure, the reason for failure to his colleague, right? So these are basic differences. They have subordinated, like managers have subordinates, like the team members which are working under him or her, and this leader have a follower. And this is one of the very important things. Do things right and do the right thing, and to say what is needed, because they have to innovate and find out what exactly is needed and who needed by whom, by everybody, by your staff, by your customer, by all sort of stakeholders. That is a leader who thinks all 360 degree. He is not only focused about customer, he is primarily focused about the team members, because he know in turn these team members are going to take care of the customers. Yes, Devan, you want to say something?
Nothing, sir. Nothing.
Okay, fine. So these are the basic things which we have to know, and we should remember this with examples. This is what I want to say over here. So we can list down n numbers of things which differentiate managers from leaders, and we can list down n numbers of attributes also which a leader is having in him. Let us move further. See, again, this was something distinction between managers and leaders, and this is something between the entrepreneur versus a leader. See, again, as I said, all entrepreneurs need not be leaders, right? But all entrepreneur leaders are compulsorily entrepreneur, right? But there are certain qualities, as I said earlier. The thing remains, what is your objective, right? Leadership type will be determined by what exactly is your enterprise and how exactly is your pedagogy, right? Or modus operandi also you can call it. How exactly you want to function. So these are few of the things which I am not going to read out. These are self-explanatory. But this defines. See, this is what I've taken from Wikipedia. This is Roy Buck. He's a British economist. He has defined entrepreneurial leadership as organizing a group of people to achieve a common goal using proactive entrepreneurial behavior by optimizing risk, innovating to take advantage of opportunities, taking personal responsibility. And so just now I quoted example that whenever failures occurs, he or she has to take a responsibility of that failure, right? He or she cannot simply pass it to or make somebody scapegoat for the failure. Then in that case he'll be called as manager, but somebody who is taking the responsibility of failure will be called as leader, because he has led that particular team for that particular goal, and managing the change with a dynamic environment for the benefit of an organization. See, ultimately what comes into picture is organization. See, leaders, obviously they may be having a formal organization or informal organization, but a certain common objective is set into picture, which is common for the leader themselves and for their team members, and they all move towards this common goal. So again, goal is one of the attributes achieving the goal. They are the go-getter. You can call them as go-getter. Just do it, right? This is what we have seen. Do the right thing. Something which Nike talks about. Just do it, right? Instead of just waiting for instruction from somebody else, they are go-getter. They would like to step out of their chair and would like to show themselves, like to show their team member how things can be done, so that the team members follow his or her footsteps. So these are the basic differences. We should all be knowing about it. And these are the key dimensions. See, first thing the leader has to do is, first of all, he should be knowing what exactly he or she is. What are the strength or what are the weaknesses which he or she is carrying. Weaknesses he or she can fill or fulfill it by recruiting team members in which he is not having expertise. For example, IT. I want to start a tech venture, but I am not that good in IT, especially talking about blockchain, for example. Blockchain is a new technology which not necessarily all IT guys are well versed with. So there they can hire somebody. If somebody wants to plan a new cryptocurrency, for example, which is now a buzzword nowadays. So they need to have that team ready, right? So knowing oneself is very important. If the leader do not know who or she is, then probably he will never be able to exploit the good qualities, never be able to know what are the positives that are there in him. So this is one, focusing on the who before the what, right? Who, that is something which is related to one. Who they are, right? Who I am, right? Then what to do. What to do will come next. Planning for the vision. Having a clear vision for the future. This we have already talked. If you do not have a vision, then probably you are going to mislead the entire team. You are not going to move in proper direction, right? So your goals, mission, vision, objective, and all this policy statement has to be very clear, very crystal clear, I would say, right? Everybody should be able to read through it, know exactly what exactly you want. Then only they will be able to line up their own strength with your vision. Great communication skill. We have already done this, right? So great communication skill may not be there present with each of the leader, but slowly and steadily you can build on this also. It depends on how good you are in interacting. See, communication need not be necessarily do not mean that you have to be a good orator, right? Oratorship is something different. Orators are usually good political leaders or a good spiritual leader who do have good command on the language and they can juggle the words, right? They can keep the audience intact. But communication here need not necessarily mean verbal communication. It can be just communicating your emotions also through gestures, as I said, gestures and postures, right? So he or she has to be good communicator. He or she may not be very good orator, which is a necessary skill for political and spiritual leaders. But as an entrepreneur, you need not at a time maybe you will not be good in orator. That weaknesses you can counter it by having other skills, right? Other communications. Like you can be good in written, you can be good in knowing people's skill, right? Adoptability. What is this? Can Ananta, can you explain what is adoptability?
Changing oneself to the circumstances.
Good. See, you need not be very rigid, right? You have to be flexible. Agile भी word use करते हैं उसको. Agile leadership. It is also called as fitting yourself to the circumstances. If 3 years back somebody started an enterprise and this COVID thing took place, then definitely you have set some other vision, but now you have to change your plan. Maybe vision remains same, but the route you have to change. So you have to adapt to the circumstances. Excellent, Ananta, right? So you need to have that flexibility. You won't say I am a leader and then I am going to follow whatever I have decided. We are going to stick to it, right? We are not going to go a foot back, right? 2 कदम आगे बढ़े हैं तो 3 कदम या 1 कदम पीछे नहीं लूंगा. At a time you have to take your foot back also, right? 2 कदम आगे बढ़े हो आप तो you may have to withdraw sometime. You may have to take your foot back. So that is nothing but a part of adaptability. You have to adapt. The circumstances can be simple example of COVID. It can be change in technology. It can be change in what? The requirement of your customer. Previously customer were lacking something else. Now the trend has changed. So accordingly you have to be very, very adaptable. Continuous learning. This is needed by everybody, right? Not only a leader. Continuous learning is something which not a single human being stop. Till the day we die, we all are in the process of learning. As I said, not maybe formal, but informal learning takes place every day, right? No matter you know it or not, but you are learning. Every day we are learning, right? Something or the other. Okay. And 7th is create an atmosphere conducive to the growth. He is the person who is the main link in the ecosystem. We have studied that also, ecosystem. They are the main link in the ecosystem, particularly talking about entrepreneurial ecosystem. So this ecosystem has to function properly, and for that functioning, they have to create a conducive atmosphere. Conducive atmosphere here what I mean to say is, they need to be good motivators. So if something goes wrong, if there are failures, then they have to see to it that they keep the tempo of the entire team up. The motivation remains there, right? People are not hurt that much, or they are not discouraged, right? So they have to see to it that people do get a conducive atmosphere so that the entire organization keeps on growing. Okay. Now, before we again move further, these are the attributes which we already have discussed. Share knowledge, helps others to succeed. See here, as a leader, manager would like to succeed himself, but leader would like to see to it that other people, all his team members also succeed in whatever tasks are assigned to them, right? So because he knows if their team members succeed, the entire team can succeed, because everything is internal. Okay. Now here how the entrepreneurial leaders look like. This is the tip of iceberg. This is iceberg. I'll be talking on this afterwards. Let us take one more look at how to start. This is by Dhruva Rata. We won't be taking a look on the entire video. This is start of it, so that we can discuss it further.
फ्रीडम, करेज और पैशन, ये 3 शब्द मेरे दिमाग में आते हैं जब मैं एंटरप्रेन्योर के बारे में सुनता हूं। तो आप अपना खुद का बिजनेस खोलने के लिए बहुत सारी चीजों से इंस्पायर हो सकते हो, हो सकता है आपका बचपन से सपना हो कोई काम करने का, किसी चीज़ के बारे में आप पैशनेट हो सकता है आप किसी के अंडर काम नहीं करना चाहते, खुद के बॉस बनना चाहते हो सकता है आप हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी के शब्दों से इंस्पायर होकर खुद का एक पकोड़े का स्टॉल खोलना चाहते हो। तो रीजन कोई भी हो, मैं इस वीडियो में आपको शुरू से लेकर एंड तक सारी चीजें बताऊंगा जो चीजें आपको जाननी चाहिए अपना खुद का बिजनेस। मिलियन से ज्यादा लोग हैं, बहुत कम चांसेस हैं इसके। और दूसरा और ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट रीजन कि आपको ये नहीं करना चाहिए, एक ऐसा बिजनेस एक नई फील्ड में जहाँ पे कस्टमर बेस एस्टैब्लिश नहीं है, एक सोर्स ऑफ रेवेन्यू नहीं है, किसी ने आपसे पहले ट्रायल एंड रन नहीं किया है, वहाँ पे एक्सपेरिमेंट नहीं किया है कि इस फील्ड में बिजनेस करने से ऐसा रेवेन्यू आता है, ऐसी प्रॉब्लम्स हम फेस करते हैं। तो एक बहुत ही नई चीज़ है, यहाँ पे बहुत ही रिस्की काम है ये। इसलिए मैं कहूँगा आपको एक ऐसा आइडिया सोचने की ज़रूरत नहीं है जो आप किसी और ने ना सोचा हो। इनफैक्ट आपको ये सोचने की ज़रूरत है कि आपको खुद क्या करना पसंद है। यहाँ पर मैं रेकमेंड करूंगा कि आप दो चीज़ों पर फोकस कीजिए। पहली चीज़ कि आपका पैशन क्या है, आपका इंटरेस्ट क्या है, आपको क्या करने में मज़ा आता है। और दूसरी चीज़ कि आप किस तरह से लोगों को वैल्यू दे सकते हैं, लोगों को अपने काम से किस तरह से बेनिफिट पहुंचा सकते हैं, इतनी वैल्यू दे सकते हैं कि लोग आपको उसके बदले पैसे देने को तैयार हो जाए। जब आपने ये दो चीज़ें सोच
See, this is the point I wanted. Value addition, right? So this we are talking right from our first session that what exactly the customer, see, we have talked this in marketing also, that what is value addition, right? Value addition is or what is value proposition, what is the value that customers look out in your services or in your goods, right? Value is something for which the customer is paying, right? So as an entrepreneur, if you are not, as an entrepreneur, if you are not able to give value to your customers, then probably the entire concept of starting an enterprises may go away, right? It may go down, it may fail, because if you are not able to judge what exactly the customers are looking out for, the new services or new product, and how much they are willing to pay, that is very important. बाकी सब चीज़ें तो ठीक है, you have all sort of attributes, everything is there, but ultimately why we started with marketing? Because customers are the king. We all know customers are to be studied, read and judged properly. Then and then only you can come out with a concept, with an idea, with a good, which obviously they are looking out for, right? It is not every time that you come out with a concept and you try to sell it, which may usually not true in all the cases. I would say 99% of the time the entrepreneur will try to find out what is the needs and wants of the customers, and they will try to create that type of goods and services, right? So value, as I said, and that's why the focus of our entire sessions were on marketing. So that is again one of the very good attribute which the entrepreneur should have. He should be able to find out the value which he is proposing to the end user. Okay. Now let us go move further. Ananda, I hope I am clear up till now. Any doubt up till now? And Devang, both of you?
Okay, fine sir, fine sir.
Okay.
Perfect sir.
Okay, fine. Let us move further then. And lean, see again, my advice is go through that lean concept again and again. It may, as I said, it may look a bit technical, but it is all philosophy, right? Nothing technical about it. It's all ideology. It's all philosophy of how that concept is implemented in the organization, and it will come through whom? It will come through the leaders, right? Small leaders. Maybe leaders, they are not always, as I said, sitting on the top. Leaders are there across everywhere, right? They are in small group, they are in large group, and the vision and the missions differ, right? The mission of Ratan Tata may be different than his CEO, who is managing, for example, Team Plate. Team Plate is one of the organization of Tata. For example, Tata Motors. His vision and his mission will be different than what Ratan Tata is thinking. Similar thing goes with Ambani's, right? So leaders, as I said, leaders are there everywhere. It is there in you, it is there in me also, right? And it depends on what, on which strength we would like to encash on. So how a leader approaches work, it is to the strength of vision. This is what is seen by the team members, by the followers, right? This is what is seen. Fortitude, then decision making, agility, how quick you are in taking decision, how adaptable you are, how strategic origination, right? Then what a leader knows, this is within within the leader himself, right? What he knows, he should be able to understand, that is knowing himself, right? Interpersonal adaptiveness, cultural acuity, influence orientation, analytical discernment, and global mindset. And this is something which is hidden, which is even the leader at a time may not be aware, nor his followers, right? So this is how all these qualities are to be explored, are to be worked upon by the leader. Now these are 5 leadership styles, because at the very start I have asked you what are different types of leaders. Usually talking, there are 3 types of, if you segregate all this leader taken together, there are usually, if you open up any organizational book, right, or for that matter any leadership theory will always talk about what these 2, and one is democratic, that is participative sort of thing, right? Autocratic and democratic, right? Autocratic and democratic are just opposite in nature, right? We will be discussing of these 2 also, because these 2 are very, very important. Transactional and transformational. All entrepreneurial leader will come under this category. But let us take a brief look at this theoretical aspect. Can you name any autocratic leader? There are plenty of autocratic leaders and few good examples are there. In fact, you can take from the example of political leaders also. Autocratic. What exactly is meant by autocratic? Where your decisions are forced upon others is something which is autocratic, right? For example, Hitler is a good example. All sort of dictators who were born, right? Hitler is a good example, where they would like to force the ideology, their philosophy on their followers, right? They will never take the opinions of the followers. They will never have that sort of what you call as interpersonal skill, talking to the followers, knowing what exactly they would like to have, right? And whereas democratic is something where the leaders is more of a participative in nature. See, it is all here, it is named. It is often called as democratic leadership. Participative is where you take along each and every member of your team and ask their opinion, ask their views, right? You give respect to their values, right? To their ideology, and after that you take a decision. So this works more as a homogeneous team, and here it is not a homogeneous where only a single person is dictating or taking the group to on a particular path or on a particular direction. And this laissez-faire is something which is a French word, which means that you are free to take your own decision. Entire freedom is there, right? It's not participative, it's not autocratic, but here you are left on your own to take decisions, right? You need not consult the superior, right? So this usually comes when, for example, can be a consultancy firm, right? Where most of the consultant, this can be example of a hospital. Like all doctors, they are specialists in their own. Like if you visit a multi-speciality hospital, then you will find a doctor who is expert in a kidney, somebody who is expert in heart, somebody who is expert in what, liver, all body parts. I'm saying no single doctor is specialist in all the things. Only general practitioner will give you general medicine. But when it comes to specialists, there are plenty of ENT doctors are there, right? Cancers doctors are there. So these doctors, they have the right or freedom to take their own decision, right? Because they are masters in themselves and they are not dictated by their superiors, right? Their boss. Maybe they can consult, they can take advice from so many people from their colleagues, But this style means that there is hardly any interaction with the team members. Everybody is working on their own. I have drawn a graph also for this sort of thing, which suits where we were talking about Lisa Fair, right? So this can be something which forms part of matrix also, where you can consult, but you are free to take your own decision, right? So let us move back. Now, what is transactional leadership or managers? These managers usually managers using this transactional leadership style receive certain tasks to perform and provide rewards or punishment to the team members based on the performance results, right? So this more suits to the, because see, this is more of a operation oriented thing, where there are instruction to the leaders, and leaders in turns are trying to do it by means of reward and punishment. It can be like firing the employees if they are not doing it well, and rewarding them like in terms of promotion or maybe some incentives if they are doing it good. But transformational leadership comes how? This style depends on high level of communication from management to meet the goals. Leaders focus on big picture within an organization and delegate smaller tasks to the team to accomplish the goals. So this is more suitable for leadership style, where you are breaking down the task in small and assigning them to each of the individual in the team, so as to achieve what? Achieve the common goal. Organizational goals also we can call it, or to achieve the accomplishment for which the organization or the enterprise is established. Okay. This is again something which I have represented in the tabular form. You can just go through it. Entrepreneurial, see, this is more of again overlapping, as I said. Okay, so just go through it. These are various types, and these are the segment, and these are the activities. Okay. Then see, hiring, again hiring, as I said, staffing. Post-com mein hire, R is for recruitment or staffing, S is for staffing, right? Post-com, right? POSD, CORS, S jo aata hai, that is staffing is nothing but hiring the employees. How do you hire? Again, it is the responsibility and the onus lies on the leader to recruit the right person for the right job, right? So it is again a skill, it is a science as well as an art, recruiting somebody. So to start an enterprise, it will be the responsibility of the leader and his team member to hire the right person. Now, what are the usual qualities? See, usually what you do is, as a HR manager or as a team leader or the person who is leading the enterprise, you will see to it that you find the right match for the right job, that is matching the person's profile or the applicant profile to the job profile. But for a startup or for an enterprise, new enterprise, these are usual 4 skills, 4 types of qualities which usually the team will look out for, or usually the leader will look out for, right? This is nothing, emotional skill is nothing but people skill, where you have what? A close knowing of what your teams are, right? Empathy, that is the what you call is concern for your co-workers, right? Resilience and stress management. Work ethics, you will look out for work ethics also if you are hiring a new recruit for an enterprise. Reliability, integrity and commitment, how committed they are. Communication skill, but obvious this goes with all domain, including a new startup, including recruiting for various domain like HR, marketing, IT and all those domains. Multitasking, because see, the jobs requires you to take up plenty of small different tasks. So as an entrepreneur, I'll be looking out for a person who have this ability of multitasking, because a startup is not an established one. They have to cope with plenty of changes. They need to be adaptable, as we have discussed earlier, and this requires multitasking ability of the team members, right? So this is how they are supposed to recruit. Apart from this, as I said, the simple formula is matching the profile of the applicant, of the person who you are going to interview with the job profile you are looking out for. But these are all sort of qualities in nutshell which usually is taken into account while recruiting the newcomers for the startups. And these are various kinds of organization. I would say for new enterprise, probably it has to follow the organic model, mechanistic model, or we can call this is a very rigid model, which is usually present with the overall established organization, which has started way back and which has got it a foothold in the market, which is leading the market. Probably they can afford this type of structure. But from the point of view of startup or a new enterprise, it has to be organized. Organic model. And what does organic says? Organic model says it has to be decentralized, it has to be adaptive, there has to be cross-functional teams. Each teams, maybe they are working on recruiting, they are working on the idea and the product, but there has to be cross-communication, cross-functional teams. These are also called as and ability to multitasking. This is the organization which represents the startup. And these are all conventional organization, functional organization, divisional organization, which is related to product 1, product 2. This is functional, which is related to domain like sales, marketing, and engineering, for example. Right? Matrix, which has something related to organic model, but again a bit rigid in nature. And this is one is very flat, something which is related to consultancy. Right? This is more open in nature because you can approach people across the division, but these are more rigid in nature. Right? So this is all I think for today's scene. Next session we'll be talking about a few success case study and failure. We'll be more focusing on failure case study. What was the reason for failure of the startups and how to overcome these failures. We'll be taking actual case study. We'll be discussing few case studies and I want your interaction in this, right? So most of the case studies will be failure. We'll try to study 3, out of which 2 will be the failure case studies, because failures has to be studied in detail. Success, as we know, success has plenty of fathers, but failure has none. So we have to go into the depth of this failure. Why was that particular startup a failure? We'll be taking an actual case study. Okay, I'll be circulating this class note of this case study probably tomorrow early morning. You can go through it in advance, or else I'll be sharing those case study on our live session also. So this is all I think for this particular topic, entrepreneurial leadership. I hope I'm clear. Any doubt, any queries up till now?
No, sir.
Okay,
Everything
Devan,
fine.
what about you? Tomorrow we'll have session on case studies. Okay. Few case studies.
Sorry, sir. Clear. Things are clear, sir.
Okay, good, excellent, fine. Thank you. Then I'll end the session for today. Take care and goodbye. We'll meet you tomorrow.